All right, this is the second study video for chapter 3. This one is about case uses in prepositional phrases. Let's see. Okay, you might find case uses to be tricky or difficult for a few reasons. Number one, you are probably not familiar with the terminology. Place to which, what does that even mean? The second reason is that you are probably not used to classifying language in this way. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks to figuring out case use. First one, prepositions for the most part only have one or sometimes two case uses. That means that you're not just looking at a preposition and picking from 4 or 5 different options. You're only picking from 1 or 2 if you learn the case uses associated with the preposition. Number 2, when a preposition can have more than one case use, there are clear indicators that tell you which one it is. Let's look at prepositions going by case use. First one, place where. When we have a place where, the object of the preposition answers the question, where at. Place where is only used with nouns in the ablative. That means if the object of the preposition is not ablative, it cannot be place where, period. So if you have a prepositional phrase where it's a preposition plus a noun in the accusative, don't even write place where. Don't even consider it an option because it cannot be one. All right, you know 2 prepositions that are place where. The first is in plus ablative, which means in or on. The second is sub plus ablative, which means under, at the foot of. If I use these in a sentence, for example, in Silwa, that would be translated as in the forest, and it would tell me the place where at. Silwa is the place, forest. Next case use, place from which. With place from which, the object of the preposition answers the question, where from. Place from which is only used with nouns in the ablative, which means if your object of the preposition is not ablative, it cannot be place from which, period. Another clue for place from which is that the prepositions which take an object of the preposition that is considered place from which, the prepositions will all have from as one of their possible translations. All right, you know 3 prepositions which go with place from which. The first is ob plus ablative, which translates as from, away from. The second is ex plus ablative, which translates as from, out of. The third is de plus ablative, which translates as from or down from. Now pay attention, de can also mean about concerning. When de means about concerning, it is not classified as place from which because it's not talking about location. All right, next case use, place to which. Place to which, the object of the preposition will answer the question where to. It is only used with nouns in the accusative. That means if your object of the preposition is not accusative, it cannot be place to which, period. Now, just like place from which, where the translations of the prepositions all included from, place to which, the translations of the prepositions will always include to. Let's take a look at which ones you have learned. There are 3. First is in plus accusative, which translates as into, onto, or against. Next is sub plus accusative, which translates as up to under, to the foot of. And lastly, od plus accusative, which translates as to, towards. Now remember, if the object of the preposition is not accusative, that prepositional phrase is not place to which. And then the last case use on this video of accompaniment. Accompaniment, the object of the preposition will answer the question with whom. It is only used with nouns in the ablative. If an object of the preposition is not ablative, it cannot be of accompaniment, period. You only know one preposition which is classified as of accompaniment, and that is cum plus ablative, meaning with. Hopefully that helps clear things up for you guys with case use. If you have questions, as always, let me know.